Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has always appeared unstoppable, the kind of man who can walk through storms and still smile. But there was one moment in his life that truly broke him and almost changed everything about who he became. Because before the giant movie deals, before the global fame, before the tequila brand and blockbuster franchises, there was a quiet, painful truth he had to face. His marriage was falling apart. But the twist? This story didn't end with anger, betrayal, or Hollywood chaos. Instead, it turned into one of the most shocking and successful post-divorce partnerships the industry has ever seen. Let's go back to the beginning. Dwayne Johnson met Dany Garcia in the early 90s, long before the fame and flashing cameras. They were students at the University of Miami. Dwayne was focused on football, chasing NFL dreams. And Dany, she was already thinking like a CEO, strategic, focused, unshakable. Not a typical college girlfriend, she was a force. They were opposites, but in a way that balanced each other. And when Dwayne's football dreams collapsed, a moment he has said pushed him into some of the darkest emotional struggles of his life. Dany was the one who helped rebuild him. She believed in him before anyone else did. She watched him reshape himself into something new, The Rock. And while the world was laughing, cheering, chanting his name, they didn't see what was happening behind the curtain, the travel, the pressure, the fame. Life as The Rock was non-stop. City after city, show after show, cameras, crowds, constant reinvention. And while Dwayne was building a global identity, something quieter was happening in the background. The marriage was changing, not because of a scandal, not because of a fight, but because they realized they were growing in different directions. Dwayne has said that it felt like losing a piece of himself, because how do you walk away from the person who helped you become who you are? Most couples would break right there. Most divorces turn bitter, loud, and messy, especially in Hollywood. But they made a different choice. In 2007, they announced their separation, calmly, respectfully, no accusations, no courtroom war. They released a short statement explaining they were shifting their relationship, not ending it. And almost nobody understood what they meant, because instead of distancing themselves, they became closer. Dany didn't just stay in Dwayne's life. She became the architect of his empire. She took control of his business strategy, his contracts, his brand direction. Together, they built 7 Bucks Productions, one of the most powerful production companies in Hollywood. The same company behind Jumanji, Hobbs and Shaw, Black Adam, Young Rock, and more. Dwayne became the highest-paid actor in the world, not by accident, but because Dany was running the chessboard. And now comes the part that shocked fans the most. After the divorce, Dany eventually remarried. To who? Dave Rienzi, Dwayne Johnson's longtime strength coach. Yes, the two men literally work out together. The three of them co-parent Simone. They travel together. They run companies together. To the internet, this looked unreal. Some people said, there's no way this is real. Something deeper must have happened. Others speculated, maybe they were better as business partners than romantic partners. But here's the truth Dwayne has openly admitted. Their love didn't disappear. It changed form. He said, "We were no longer in love the way a husband and wife are. But we were still family, and family doesn't break." And Dany, she once said, "We didn't end, we evolved." It's the kind of emotional maturity that almost never happens, especially in an industry built on ego. And while Dwayne eventually married Lauren Hashian, it didn't create distance. The families blended, the respect stayed, the loyalty stayed. Because the foundation wasn't romance, it was partnership, it was trust, it was vision. And that's why this divorce became something powerful, not destructive. People always assume the end of a relationship has to mean failure, but sometimes letting go is how you protect the bond that still matters. Instead of asking, why didn't their marriage last? Maybe the real story is, How did they stay loyal when most people fall apart? Dwayne Johnson didn't lose a partner, he gained a lifetime ally. And that's something almost nobody ever gets. The world often celebrates dramatic breakups, yelling, cheating, betrayal, chaos. But this is the rare example where two people looked at each other and said, "We're not done. We just need to change." And from that decision, a $1 billion legacy was built. Sometimes love doesn't leave, it just transforms.